With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
After the actions at Richmond, we are back with the NASCAR Cup Series here at Precision Racing League. I am Lorenzo Bonder with Chris Dylan Coyle. He have some issues, but he will be with us. We are here at Virtual Michigan for round 8 of the NASCAR Cup Series. Well, it's been a very, very frantic battle between Trent Dinkle and Lyndon Mills last time by, which was at Richmond. Quite of a hefty caution incidented race, but other than that, Lyndon Mills came out on top on Trent Dinkle by a few tenths of a second. 300 was the margin between Mills and Dinkle last race. Let's see how it's going to be here at Michigan. Here you can see the standings. Trent Dinkle with 279 points, with Mills after the win last time by, actually just getting closer towards the competition of Dinkle and everybody else having a constant. Pat Harvey having a really good battle between them for the top 3, and also top 5 is not even decided yet, with the 3 rounds to go between Chris Hudson, James O'Brien, Jose Acosta, Robert Bushaw Jr., even Maverick Davis and Bruno Mello are on the outside, even looking to score here at the PRL NASCAR Cup Series. Team Standings, however, is a different story. Private label Team Hype has been the dominant team in this championship, with SGE Esports Pioneer in second place, separated by 88 points. Love Racing is in third place, with some of their drivers into the top 10, like Bruno Mello and other drivers as well. But with that being said, still not out of the woods just yet for these top 3 battles. You can even see like SGE Esports Entourage having a good race over here that could bring him closer into these final 2 races that we'll have left after this one, with the championship penny on the dot. And top 5 is still not decided because SGE Esports, Apex, and the team and Love Racing Brack, they're closer to one another in terms of points, so everything can change with one round here on the book. And I believe we have Dylan back.
Can y'all hear me?
Unfortunately, Dylan. But hello.
Oh, goodness me. Yeah, sorry, working out some issues on my end, but hopefully we'll keep troubleshooting that as the night goes on. Lorenzo, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Well, it was your show for a little bit there, and you did an admirable job, buddy. You and I have been broadcasting for a long time together.
Yeah, I try to do my best to not sink the ship before it was already sunken, but I did my best to try to be the captain, but I'm not the captain now. I'm not Tom Hanks anymore.
You... what's that, Captain Phillip?
Yep.
There you go. I love the movie references. But I am here, so that means we go into what we have to thank. Who we have to thank. This coverage is brought to you by Advanced Sim Racing. Owned and operated by passionate sim racers, Advanced Sim Racing designs and builds the sturdiest and most durable aluminum profile racing simulation cockpits available in the market today. All PRL members also get a 5% discount on ASR products using the Precision 5 coupon code. Racebox Sim Racing. Racebox offers mid and high-end button boxes for sim racing enthusiasts, from the casual gamer up to the most meticulous sim racing driver. Competitively priced and carefully handcrafted, our button boxes are an enjoyable addition to any sim racing setup. Visit raceboxsimracing.com and get a 5% discount using the Precision 5 coupon code. The Butt Kicker. Butt Kicker products add incredible immersion and realism to every game. Feel every nuance and truly put yourself in the driver's seat. Mechasim Hardware. Mechasim Hardware is a small company from the Czech Republic, and their goal is to produce high-quality sim racing hardware. If you are looking for high-end pedal sets, handbrakes, or sequential shifters, visit Mechasim Hardware's eShop right now to get you up to speed. Muradness. Muradness is a performance lifestyle brand motivated by motorsport and founded by professional race car driver Daniel Morad. For more information, visit muradness.com. And finally, Mr. Hedge Sim Racing Photography. Capture your finest, proudest, or simply worst moments from your hobby in up to 8K resolution, a great addition to any sim room. And Lorenzo, I always like to joke. I think I'm 5 for 5 in my broadcast of saying this. I would have a lot of really bad moments to be captured there.
No, absolutely. But you mean in Michigan?
No. Just sim racing photography.
Yeah. No. You, what was the last time you raced? Because the last time I saw you race, you actually won a race, which boggled my mind.
That was one of my last races on a broadcast.
Yeah, that was like last decade.
I'm trying to think.
No, it wasn't last decade.
It was technically this decade, because 2020 was the last year of the 11 to 20 decade, because that's apparently how it officially works, right?
Yeah, if you want to put it that way.
Yeah, so 2021 was my last on broadcast race, but right now we've got qualifying going on for the fourth to final round of this 10-race PRL Cup Series season. Trent Dinkle, Landon Mills, you can't separate these two. You can, just with a very small piece of paper, 12 thousandths of a second right now. Dinkle over Landon Mills. 27 is currently who we're watching on screen. That's Matthew Campbell in the Chevy Camaro. Hits the wall coming out of turn 2. That, I think, is going to be either lap over or just going for some more practice here. Lorenzo, Michigan is a very unique track. I'm not sure if you've watched any Cup Series action at Michigan. They're actually they were racing today in the Cup Series, and it's been postponed 60-something laps until tomorrow.
I was going to ask you, because you were with Cal League, for the Xfinity Series. If I remember correctly, your team didn't have the best results at Michigan, because Chandler got like 20th, Henry got 15th, and what struck your cup for this round?
Yeah, it was it was the best of days. With the number 16, we were looking at more of a top. Hopefully, a stretch was probably a top 10. We knew we didn't have the best car halfway through the race, but we were hoping to capitalize on others' mistakes. And then on the last lap, there was some contact between Austin Hill and Chandler. Chandler got left-reared and put into the wall and ended up finishing 20th. So, yeah, came back to the pit box, completely shredded up right side. And they had a heated but friendly conversation at the end of the race. But I can tell you there might be some friendliness and some heated moments in this broadcast, in this race tonight. 30 drivers have entered the field. 25 have set a lap time in qualifying. And we'll go down the grid order now. Trent Dinkle over Maverick Davis by 4 thousandths of a second. Splits the championship competitors with Dinkle and Landon Mills. Mills in P3 with Waldo Walden in 4th. Pat Harvey, Bruno Mello, your top 3 rows. We continue going down. Jose Acosta, Joshua Daniels, John Jones. The top 10 is rounded out with Brian Dixon, Robert B. Saul Jr. in the 3, and Chris Hudson in the 43. Luke Christian and Matthew Campbell, the top 7 rows, while Abner Acosta and Brandon Walter are the top 8 rows. Acosta being 15th is sort of a surprise, I'd say. Rachel Hunt in 17th, and Chad Kibbe round out the front 9 rows. Colton Easterday, Jose Medina, Bradley Moore, Jay McDonald, Wayne Grassi, and Robert Gamble continue rounding it out, while Tom Macy was the slowest of the cars who did set a qualifying time. Jeff Chandler, Charles Sumner, Skip Gandy, Eric Papineau, and Mike Witt are your top 30. Hey, and Richard Pruitt. I didn't see on my sim. In my sim, I don't see a 31st. Oh, yes, I do see a 31st. That was Skip Gandy just hiding out. Richard Pruitt is the 31st.
Magic Man.
There we go. It's weird. My sim, my leaderboard in sim is everyone is in order except after Sumner in 27th, it's Gandy in 31st, and then we go right back to 28, 29, 30. So I think this is a good time to give a bit of a refresher, if that makes sense, of what this race will be. It will be a 110-lap race or a 1 hour, 30-minute race, whatever comes first. The championship standings, as you saw earlier with Lorenzo taking you through that all, it's very close, and it looks like we're going to have Dinkle just start and park the last race of the year, and he's already had a race where he got 11 points only. So it's going to be tight between he and Mills throughout the rest of the season. And Mills lines up right behind Dinkle at this 2-mile high bank D-shaped oval in the Irish Hills of Brooklyn, Michigan, Lorenzo.
Yeah, absolutely. And Mills, like I said before, got the win by a few better margins. But then again, it's Richmond. It's a harder track than most predict to be. Not a favorite from most of the drivers, I know this much, but they got away at least with some points there. Mills closing the gap on the championship on Dinkle. I'm curious to see how the private label team high driver will try to get this going at the start of the race, and then work with Acosta and Brent Walter to try to come up and see if they can make a top 3 once we go green, as the pace car is about to go in.
These drivers will be going on the green flag. You saw Trent Dinkle in the bottom right-hand side of your screen, always ready to go. He's going to be the one to lead the field to the stripe. 110 laps at Michigan International Speedway. The green flag is out, and Dinkle will not be the first car over the line. I wonder if that's going to be looked at. But Dinkle's going to lead everyone storming into turn 1.
Making 3 wide already on turn number 1. A little bit unexpected, but they got away unscathed. Bottom line on Landon Mills trying to attack early, but that's the way to go. You really want to attack early here on Michigan and just lead yourself all the way, because you have so much dirty air you're sharing with the other drivers on the first 2 laps. You gotta use the rubber while you still have it.
And that's a great point you bring up, Lorenzo. There are a lot of issues drivers have here with dirty air, especially in this 7th gen. The next gen Cup cars, they do not respond all that well to running in dirty air. Clean air is the name of the game as we again storm into turn 1, just under 190 miles per hour, 2x2, all the way from 4th on back. Whoa.
Thought Mills was going to crash into the wall right there.
Mills did lose a lot of time going up high, and he's going to get passed by Pat Harvey, who's gained 2 spots already on this 2nd lap alone. Mills going to try and fight back, winds up going closer to the wall, cuts back down just a bit, and stays in the draft of Harvey. He has a run going into turn 1. Will he convert that into attempted move? No, he's going to just lay back. I think a lot of drivers get into the corner too deep as Wayne Grassy sets the fastest lap on lap number 2 at 38.89. Grassy fairly far back in the field, so that goes to reason that's not going to stay. But we do see side-by-side racing, and up front, Landon Mills is going to go all the way down to the yellow line and make a move on Harvey, and he still has the grip in the tires to maybe make it a 2-for-1. Won't be happening in corner 3 and 4, but he was side by side with Davis. Davis just has the toe from Dingle though, and that's really going to help him. These are long straightaways, Lorenzo. While dirty air is going to be a problem, you can get a lot of time gained by just being in the draft.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing that surprises me a little bit with these cars is they're not as raw power in terms of being quick as the Xfinity car. Actually, the Xfinity car in terms of top speed is actually quicker than these cars when you go into turn number 1 or into the backstretch. You're heading to turn number 3, but because the aerodynamics of how the car is nowadays and the plates and stuff like that, you have more aerodynamic capability of controlling the car and having more lines or keeping the car more in tow than with the Xfinity cars. It kind of surprised me a little bit when I was doing laps around Michigan a few seasons back, but other than that, it's much closer racing than I expected it to be in these first 5 laps of the race so far.
I think it's hard to get away from anybody just because of how long the straightaways are. If these corners were longer, as we see 3 wide action in the middle of the field. Actually, this is a top 10 spot. The 90 and the 03 hit each other. The 78 up top was Mello. He might have doored the man to his inside. They're all fine, if not a little bit scared.
Yeah, I think Dixon got the message right there. Had to lift the car a little bit, just ride the draft. He's going to lose some power right there. Going to allow the car behind him, which is Luke Christian, to be on the outside. He's going to ride the side draft now. Dixon's going to be making that move stick, I think, once you go to turn number 3. I'm wondering, for these cars, I think the preferred line you really want to take early on in this race might be the outside line where I think the rubber is going to build up, a little bit of a contact on the ball for Christian, but after that, the car just, drives. I think it becomes more of an actual form of the car once the race goes by if we still stay under green.
Well, I do think that the best line to take is on the outside. The only counter to that is if you want to make a brash move early in a run like Mills has been doing, you'll dive it down to the inside. And that was kind of met by Trent Dinkle. Dinkle said, hey, I see that you're taking a ton of space down the inside. I'm going to make it a little bit harder for you, but a little bit of a wash up from Dinkle right there. That's going to cost him some time. They're side by side down the front stretch.
Yeah, absolutely. Still on the front stretch. Here we go into turn number 1. Mills inside. Can he make the move stick? He's going to be having the lead maybe by a few thousandths of a second once he heads into turn number 1, but Dingle got the preferred line on the outside, and they're still going to remain side by side through the backstretch.
Still side by, or not side by side until right now that they were in tow. Mills gave Dingle a little touch saying, I am here. He is just a groove higher than he has usually been going through 3 and 4. It comes all the way down to the apron. Maverick Davis in tow with him. And this is going to be Landon Mills' position to lose at this point. He's going to dive it in there. And Dingle got into the wall a little bit. Did you see that?
Yeah, just rubbed a little bit into
Oh, and Mills and Tinkle almost touch. Goodness me.
They're fighting like it is the final lap of the race or something like that. A little bit surprising for me, but then again, the championship being so close to one another, I'm not even surprised that Mills is, being the early striker and putting that pressure on the private label team hype driver.
I like that term, the early striker. We have seen some aggression from Mills in this race on Dinkle that I don't think we've seen so far this season, but it is go time, right? We're in the back half of the season. We're 6 out of 10 races complete into it. He's got a legitimate chance at being a PRL Cup Series champion, but Trent Dinkle, of course, is going to want to say something about that. Dinkle has not scored fewer than 42 points in any race this year, except for round 4 at Atlanta, where he scored just 11 points, was one of the first drivers taken out. Meanwhile, Landon Mills has scored no lower than 33 points through the year. And I mean, really, the average has been just over 40 points for him all year. So this is tight. This is a big, tight battle. Mills cannot afford to get himself into trouble, whether that means not finishing a race, wrecking out. He cannot afford that at all. He's got a mulligan because Dinkle has a drop week pretty much already in store, in check. And that last race might prove to be a championship winner for Mills if Dinkle's unable to take part. Meanwhile, we're watching some of the battle going on in the midfield and further in the top 10 battles. A lot of single file snaking happening down the front stretch. I think all these drivers, except for Mills, are a little concerned about trying to dive down to the inside. If you lose so much momentum, if you can't get the pass made down the inside in corner entry, or at least by mid-corner, Lorenzo, it's really easy to just absolutely burn up the rubber if you're taking that inside line for the majority of any one stint. The outside line is faster once you come down the corner exit and down the front stretch, and it also conserves some of the tires just a tad more. My concern for Mills, who has got himself back into second, Matthew Davis still in behind, is that he is burning up that rubber. He'll be staying green. There's been a lot of close quarters action, not a lot of, body checking.
Yeah, only them have some body checking when they go into the corners. You can still see Mills on the inside. He's going to claw himself back up. Not going to cause contact. Dinkle. Oh my God.
Dinkle again got a little bit too wide there on exit. Turned the wheel to the left, almost hit Mills. They're scrapping it without hitting each other right now.
Yeah, and that washed out into the outside of turn number 4. That could have been disastrous for not only Dinkle and Mills, but more specifically Dinkle, because like you said before, with drop points, you really don't want to have that. So, Dinkle, the last few races, they've been, I think, podium or bust or something like that. So podium or win or just outside of just all around on the top 5. So it's rough. That consistency is probably going to get him into the championship. He keeps going like that, even if with the drop week. That will make them do for it. But other than that, Mills, I like what I'm seeing so far, showing his claws, not showing that he's afraid of throwing it down early on, where you still have some opportunities to do that, because I think once you go like 20, 30 laps into the stint of your tires, it becomes a little bit more complicated. You really don't want to be cooking way too much towards that late portion of the race. If you have tires to the late portion of the race and you think you can make up ground, perfect. But I don't know if it kind of makes up over here with the track being so close to the cars.
We're watching Chris Hudson right now down the front stretch, and Hudson's one of those drivers who has had a really solid season going on for himself. I like his paint schemes. I can't lie. It's very heavily inspired by what is now the old Richard Petty Motorsports 43 machine. Currently watching his view right now, and you see he's got that triples set up. Some drivers like to use VR, some triples, some just a single monitor, whether that's just a 16 by 9 or an ultra wide. I am not, so I still kind of race with a single monitor right now. So I've gone from ultra wides now, just for the ease of everything, including streaming. Just going to a 16 by 9 32 incher.
Right on.
How about you?
I'm on a single screen. I cannot say much. I really want to. I was talking to my girlfriend. Believe it or not, I have a girlfriend.
Yeah, congrats, buddy.
Thank you so much. So I was talking to her of maybe someday down the line I'm making my own rig. She was like, okay, you can make that. It's okay. So it's probably gonna make it some triples, like not those kind of triples because those are like nearly TVs. Those are way too big for me.
Yeah, and it's a lot of maintenance, and it's a lot of trying to workshop it to work well. We got 3 wide going on further back in the field. Goodness me, this is some great racing right now. No one can see the bet. Yes, sir. Walden is, oh, look at that, the 23 kind of side doors.
Watch out.
Right above, couldn't quite see who that was. Yes, it was Wayne Grassi in the number 7 machine. That yellow V-Power Pennzoil machine has definitely got some donuts on the left side of his car. Now Chad Kibbe is running next to Brandon Walter. Walter comes down a lane. Kibbe came up, almost touching there, but they make it work on corner entry, running down the backstretch. Once again, I mean, all these drivers trying to make moves and trying to stay there. It's just these runs are really, really big right now. As we see Bruno Mello go all the way up. Actually, that was Joshua Daniels, went all the way up up in turn 3 and 4. Almost got himself loosened in the wall. He's going to lose a ton of time there, but no harm, no foul. You just can't get away. You can't escape. Even the top 3 are barely a few car lengths away from the rest of the field.
Yeah, and that's just a little bit surprising to me as they go through the backstretch because you know me, Bill, and I think you know me better than others. I come from the IndyCar background rather than the NASCAR background. Even though I do NASCAR, one of my saddest races was actually in Michigan because I'll tell this story later. It's a good story, good sad story.
I would like to hear it.
It's kind of like the story of my life, but
it's deep.
Yeah, but I think I saw D-Song lose maybe a little bit, but anyway, just coming back.
Oh, hold on 1 second, Lorenzo. Not to cut you off. Mills has just dove down underneath Trent Dinkle and a slider that worked. He takes the lead. Dinkle has the momentum all the way to turn 3, right on his rear bumper. Mills is going to lose some momentum, though, on corner exit once again. He goes a groove lower. He's losing his tires quicker than most, but he's doing an admirable job of just throwing everything and the kitchen sink into this 2-mile asphalt track. Oh, goodness me. Dinkle again right up on his rear bumper. Jose Acosta up there. You know who else is really doing an impressive job? He's just broken into the top 5, and we were just talking about him. Chris Hudson from 12th to 5th.
No, that was a very nice job, just being patient. I think he took the opportunity of Maverick Davis just dropping by a few spots in between the last few laps. He's dropping not like the Rock. I think he's dropping off 3-4 positions in, but other than that, he's giving the car nope. But there's also a very, very loose coming out of the corner. I think as you saw him getting loose out of one of the corners just on the outside. Other than that, Joshua Daniels can probably make that move stick if he actually linked it up the side.
Dinkle makes a brash move, gets loose in mid-corner on exit. He keeps it, and then Mills comes right across his rear bumper, and they side draft side by side once again. Dinkle, Mills. I must apologize. I said there were 4 races left, including this one. There are 3 races left, including this one. And there are 6 top 5s. Every race that Dinkle has finished, he's finished in the top 5. But because of, yeah, he just wins. He wins. He finishes high up in the order. And we see him on screen. Look at that focus right there. Underneath Mills is Jose Acosta. Dinkle still loose. He's going way up the track, and Mills gets cut off by Jose Acosta. Oh, that was a bit naughty right there, but he takes away second place, and now he has a run down turn 3. He's going to let it coast into the corner and going to have more momentum as we exit corner number 4. Mills slides off the way up, has to get off the throttle. This is great racing. We're clean, we're green, we're 25 laps in.
Yeah, 25 laps in, you're starting to see now the tires, they want to give them a little bit. But other than that, very move from Acosta, blocking those line into the outside of Mills. Once he goes back, you can see now nearly on the quarter panel of number 42 is Mills, but he's trying to move forward once again. You don't want to Dinkle to be breaking away as much as he can, but like I was saying, IndyCar over here, when we used to race back in the old days, it is a pack race. I didn't expect it to be a pack race in there. I thought this would be more broken up by the halfway into the tire stand, as we are still green, surprisingly, with all these moves.
You know what I'm surprised about? I'm surprised that Abner Acosta, while he started 15th, he's also lost 3 positions in this race. He's back in 18th. He's having himself a horrible night. 3rd in the championship standings right now.
Yeah, but luckily for him, oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, look at Mills. He's going to slide way up, and he's going to return the favor to Jose Acosta. Mills did not like what Acosta did just a couple of laps ago, and they're going to be side by side with Mills on the outside. Look at Chris Hudson. Which way do I go, he says. He asks it. He answers himself. He stays right in line with Mills on that outside. Well, I should say middle line seems to be the preferred one. You see that gray area where the rubber has been laid on this track. That's where most of the drivers are trying to make their moves. What are you seeing?
I think there was Beast on that. It was a little bit loose. It was just outside of maybe outside of the top 10. Maybe John Jones was being the one loose coming out of turn number 2. But somehow kept the car straight into the track, and that's what we want to see.
Mills had to saw the wheel to the left to keep off the wall. This is a good moment to talk about pit strategy. I don't think any of us thought we'd make it this far while under green, but we have. So if it continues to stay that way, which we do hope it does, and we do hope there's no jinx here as Mills and Acosta touch again down the backstretch. I mean, these cars can probably... He just cut off Acosta. Those two, I mean, Mills should really watch himself here, because these positions mean more to him than they do to Jose Acosta at this point in the championship battle. Hudson right behind Mills. He's going to push him and just accelerate Mills down to the inside, who will slide and try to get the car slowed down. He's really solid on that wheel. Still, he gets loose right up to the exit, but he keeps it going and comes all the way down the backstretch just to keep it there. Hudson is just being an agitator to both Mills and Dinkle. He'll push Dinkle. Mills will try to cut him off. Dinkle slides up. Mills does the same. Hudson is just the bringer of chaos.
Yeah, absolutely. You might even see Hudson on the inside, maybe going towards the apron, or even breaking it 3 wide as the bottom line is still working a little bit. And I can see Joshua Daniels coming to the outside, Dinkle going to the lead. But I'm liking what I'm seeing so far, and now Hudson's going to try to take the opportunity to take that P2 away from that number 25.
What an insanely fun race. These guys could probably go up to 40 laps on a full tank of fuel, which means that they will have to come down within around 10 or so laps. The question is, who comes first? And you're faster in the draft as Hudson goes way up high. Look who's back into this conversation. Joshua Daniels, they're 3 wide. How about 4 wide almost? Can we make it 5 wide down the front stretch? 4 wide just behind the leader. The 43, 67, 42, 43. The 42 gets turned by the 43, and the 77 hits the wall. Caution is out. No, you can't go 4 wide.
4 wide.
That close.
No. You can't go 4 wide. It'll just like that. Turn number 1 is a recipe for disaster. Oh my goodness. It's still cars flying by through Acosta. And I think that was also, I was looking maybe at the car of Daniels that was trying to make the move into that inside line on turn number 1 with Pat Harvey. Pat Harvey somehow survived that ordeal on the bottom lane. I don't know how he actually managed to take that car in tow with going forward in turn number 1. But, well, we got our first yellow flag, and that was brought to you by Dylan Coyle Incorporated.
Well, we'll see exactly what happened once we get the replay as everyone checks up on the back straight. That was some great racing, and I do have to say, I totally
Absolutely.
brought on the broadcaster's curse.
No.
Absolutely.
You forget you were with me. It's kind of like we've been broadcasting together nearly for 8 years, bro. You know this much. You know that
You and I are the bringer of the broadcaster's curse.
We are.
Like, so no meatballs on the field, meaning no one has that bad enough damage to be forced to come in, but we will probably see some people come in. The 42, so we're way too close down here, 3 wide. The 42 kind of makes contact with the 67. He slides up. The 43's pinching those two a little bit. And the 42 just kind of comes across the 67 of Harvey's front hood. And from there, he just kind of the right quarter panel, left front connects, and up into the wall they go with Joshua Daniels. Everyone coming down pit lane right now. Of course, some are going to get damage repaired. Some are just going to get 4 tires, tank full of Sunoco fuel, and get moving. We'll see if there's any quick in-race adjustments made. Probably not. Let's see who's first to the left side tires. It's Mills, who's in that third pit box. Davis in front. Dinkle just in front of him. Dinkle will be the winner off of pit road. Mills, Harvey, Hudson, Beasall Jr., your top 5 off of pit road.
Yeah, Beasall actually had a great jump into this pit stop, by the way. I think he was just outside of the top 10 with the pit stop coming in. I think he had a really good jump on all of them. And now positioning himself to prime positions for a top 3, and that's what we want to see, but still not decided so far. Now I'm just wondering, we got our first yellow flag, and I think laps around here they're around 38 seconds, 38 to 40 seconds, right, Dylan? And we know that a yellow flag, since they're about 4 laps in average, they take about what? I think it is 1.5 minutes. So you take away like 5-6 minutes of yellow flags. How many yellow flags should we get to start getting concerned? Oh, this might actually not be lap based but time based. I would say like 5, 4 or 5 maybe.
4 or 5, and what was the question again? I blanked out for a second.
No, it's all right. How many yellow flags do we see this going from distance based and time based? I
mean, that's the major question, right? We've seen it be around. Let's just go conservative and say 40-second lap times. 40-second lap times across 110 laps. Let's do the math real quick.
That recurs to commentators' math, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. But anyway, we're going to do the math anyways because we got time.
All right, 73 minutes would so an hour 13 minutes if we went green the entire way. As they're coming back to, they've already went through one to go. So next time by, we'll go back green flag racing. It's definitely going to be minimized because of these longer 70 mile per hour pace laps, which is a nice pace on the 2-mile circuit. We'll have to see exactly how long once the pace car does come down in. By the way, we've heard reports that the wear on the rights was like 73, 75 per the iRacing data. So I mean, that's not really that bad. Right side wear. It definitely hurts a bit, but Michigan is very much a draft heavy and positional based track. We're back to green flag racing. Trent Dinkle leads the way. Nothing's changed there. Mills had a horrible jump on the outside line, and right underneath him is Pat Harvey, who's going to look to take that second place position away.
Oh, it's all right. Good start actually for Harvey, trying to get a jump early on, but nearly making contact on Mills as they go side by side into turn number 2. Everybody's naked in. I think I even saw nearly 3 wide Foreman at the middle to the back of the road. So let's see how this is gonna go as our first restart lap is nearly done.
So it took around 5 minutes to get through that caution period. It was 4 laps in length, and might have been just actually quicker. iRacing's made some changes to make cautions quicker, so 5 minutes is probably what you get for around 3 to 4 laps of pacing around this track.
Yeah, something like it. Oh, who's that car? Is that, I think that B-Saw was nearly going out wide, 3 wide into the back stretch. You're gonna lose some spots.
I wonder if B-Saw Jr. took right sides. I don't think he took just right sides, but he is definitely slowing down compared to the rest of the field out here. Remember, he restarted in 5th, and he's already dropping back to on the cusp of missing out on the top 10. We crossed the line for lap 37 of 110. Goodness, this is going to be fun. It is possible, but very difficult to make it on a one more stop type strategy. By the way, B-Saw Jr., we hear reports that he has taken 4 tires, so he's just he's had some trouble on the restart here. Side by side, Mills and Dinkle. We've said this so many times in this race. With only over 70 laps to go here, they are fighting it out like this is all there is. This is all for the championship. And in reality, I mean, if they keep running at the way they keep running, this is so important. Each position, each point earned, it's going to get them closer to that trophy, to that coveted PRL Cup Series championship. Of course, Dinkle, one of the best all time. And Mills, of course, younger, really starting out his incredible career in PRL racing not too long ago. So we had a car in the wall. Harvey just kind of monitoring Mills right now, seeing what he does, not trying to burn up the rubber too quickly the Reto.
Yeah, I like what Harvey is doing, you know, being patient, not trying to being over aggressive, just work out the time like I said before. I think if you have some rubber towards the second half of your tire stint, whenever you do like 25, 26 laps and you're not scrumming them too much, even though you're seeing maybe 2 wide, 3 wide going to the corners, you might work something out. You might be more faster by 10 here and there. Even in draft, you might even be 2-3 tenths faster and go for some positions. So I like to see what those drivers that know this will do. The more we know, and has nearly some trouble 3 wide on turn number 4.
Oh goodness! And going way up to the wall, down the middle of the front straight. Still, we stay green 3 wide. That's scary, but Mills and Dinkle, they're just going to keep running side by side, and this helps everybody in behind. They're able to stay with them up front. Chris Hudson in 4th. Oh, there might have been some contact between Mills and Dinkle down the backstretch there. No harm, no foul. We're still running side by side, sometimes 3 wide. No one wants to go outside of that gray groove, as once again, Mello kind of goes up into the 90. We're seeing Dinkle going up top while Mills runs down on the apron. It's kind of getting boring to say side by side because they just won't do anything different. Yeah, we do. And Chad Kinney says the fastest lap. How about side by side Harvey Mills? That's a bit different. Chris Hudson has a run. Oh, Landon Mills had a horrible corner exit right there. He's going to lose 2 positions. One Foley, one. He's on the lower part of side-by-side. Rachel Hunt has wrecked, and we've got a yellow. Lou Christian as well.
Oh, no.
What we're hearing is Bruno Mello was involved, and we don't know exactly how it's going to look once we see the replay. But maybe just coming across the nose. Mello might have been just in front. We'll have to take a look here with the PRL RaceSpotTV replay system. Mello almost seemed to block in front. Nothing wrong there. And Hunt came down on Christian. Oh, big contact up there against the wall. Nowhere to go. Rachel Hunt has a lot of substantial damage, as well as Jose Medina, who I believe was the one that flew in there at the tail end of the incident. It might not be a bad idea for anybody, hint Abner Acosta right now, to just top up on fuel for the time being. Yes, he's in 15th, but why would you... You're struggling anyway. You want to know you make it, and I believe this is Jose Medina's on board of what exactly happened. We're exiting turn 2 here, as by the way, some drivers have gone down pit road, including we'll get into who. Yeah, we'll get into who. Let's keep watching with Jose Medina right here. You see all the smoke, you've got to slow down. Medina is coming really fast around the outside and just barrels into Hunt. I mean, that's pretty much race over right there. Medina is a lap down already and still in the pits. Let's talk about who else was into the pits. Landon Mills went into the pits.
I think that was only fuel, by the way.
It was only fuel. So remember what we were talking about with if you're farther back in the field, take fuel. I don't know if that was the smartest of moves from Mills just because of all the track position he gives up. Yes, you know, you can make it on one more stop while everyone else does not exactly feel the most comfortable yet. But you've just given up 27 positions, probably closer to 20 positions with the few others that went down into pit lane, as Mills is, I believe, still showing an 18. So that's 17 positions drop there. 16 if you want to say he was in third. He's 19.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't know about that move. That's a questionable move from Mills. Could this be a moment of him just overthinking the strategy here? Because he's in a dogfight right now. It's not like he was struggling. It's not like he was any worse than Dinkel, who's been running up front with him the majority of this race. I wonder if this is just... I don't know. I think this is too much thinking from Mills as we get the one to go sign.
I was thinking about this. You know, I think one thing that was just said right now is maybe another caution, because this is the thing. We know Richmond is that type of track that cautions breed cautions, right, Dylan?
Richmond.
Yeah, Richmond, not Michigan. But
okay.
I know Michigan sometimes, especially at crunch times, is a track that breeds caution. I don't know, but the way they've been driving aggressively so far, we could see maybe a caution happening, maybe like 5-6 laps in, maybe 7 laps in, not in the front of the pack, but middle of the pack, where you still try to scramble yourselves in for track position and positions themselves.
Okay. I do agree there. I'm not going to do the math right away because we're about to go back to green flag racing, but there will be around 56-ish minutes left on the timer, and we still have a substantial amount of laps to go. We're restarting on lap 45. That means we've got 66 laps to go, so we're getting close to that point. Another caution or two gets us close as we're back to green flag racing to that timer, as Pat Harvey is on the outside. Chris Hudson is going to be on the inside with Maverick Davis pushing Harvey. Trent Dinkel in the 9. Here's the other thing you got to worry about with Landon Mills. He's in the middle of all this action. The 05 of Tom Macy just got into the back of Mills mid-corner. This is a hornet's nest that I don't think Mills wants to be a part of. He's taking it 3 wide in the back.
I don't like this at all, Dylan.
He's not only putting himself in harm's way, but he's also burning up the rubber. He's in the middle. Whoa. 3 wide. All tried to cut off his enemy in this race, Jose Costa. This is a dangerous position for Mills to be in. I mean, he's got a fast car. He got into the wall a little bit there on the outside. He's way up the track. I mean, an incident from anywhere. 4 wide. The 30 or the 99 comes out, or the 88 comes out a little bit. And, oh my goodness, this is just wild. Mello was loose. Mills got by. Mills will just send it down into corner 3. But he has to worry about Wayne Grassy, who also sent it down. Mills is making his way through quickly, but at what cost?
Yeah, I'm just wondering if that Mello washed off into turn number 4, blocked this line, and Mills, just like a maniac, from P19 all the way down to into the top 10 in 2 laps. Sketchy moves, maybe, but it gets a job done. Walter probably had some issues.
You see that? Mills just almost went right into the back of Wayne Grassy. Chad Kibbe slides back and forces Grassy to slow down as well. You know, here's the other thing I didn't understand as Mills will pick up some more spots. He's already on the cusp of the top 5, so hey, good on Mills. I mean, yes, this is now working in Mills' favor. Would you have almost... He just said the fastest lap. He did. 38.519. Okay. Was it worth the risk? You might say yes. Because right now, it's almost... he turns to 27!
Oh, no.
Matthew Campbell! Oh, goodness. We got a caution. And I think this was all on Mills. Oh, goodness.
Yeah, even more cars spinning at the back.
Yeah, more cars spinning. The 98. Sumner. Yeah, Charles Sumner. What happened there? He was in no man's land, and he just spun coming off the grass. Yeah, there was simultaneously a spin with... Yeah.
How many laps did I say would be... Flag?
What?
How many laps did I say we would get a yellow flag?
What'd you say, 4?
Yeah, like 5, maybe 6. I think we restarted this on the 44, like 44 to 45th lap.
Yeah, so we're going to a lot of cautions here. Let me just break this down. We'll end the replay. We're gonna look up Landon Mills. We're gonna see his incident right here, and it's just 2 cars meeting where they don't belong. And Mills tries to make the move on the inside of Matthew Campbell, and Mills, he was. That's really close. I almost feel like it's a racing incident, but that was a really close maneuver to make a move to side draft. I don't know there. And look who's coming down into the pits once again. Okay. Interesting maneuver. Now, further back in the field, we had a wreck between the 31, the 05, and the 98. The 31 being Jeff Chandler, Tom Macy, and Charles Sumner. I'm not sure if we'll be able to find this, but it happened simultaneously as Campbell was spinning. This was definitely a really bad move from Tom Macy, who we said did bump into Mills on the back in his rear heading into turn 1 earlier. Anyway, okay, so chaos. Again, the replay now. I don't know if this is going to show it all that well, but you see Macy just moved
It's
up.
Literally the same issue.
I wouldn't say the exact same, because Macy absolutely moved up, while Mills...
Oh, yeah.
He was trying to make the move, and maybe at a twitch, maybe there's a twitch here, there. He's got to maybe give a little bit more space. I wouldn't chalk that up as to really malicious anything there. There, Macy just completely cuts across the quarter panel, as we're going to see the view from Jeff Chandler right here, and we'll see if he moves down at all.
Oh, he moves.
Well, barely.
There.
So the 05, this is the 05 right there. Macy's getting passed by Chandler. Oh, can't really see the movement.
Hold up. Hold up.
There we go. And
there
we'll see if Macy I mean, Chandler is all the way up against the wall at this point.
1, 2,
Macy comes up.
3. Bam.
Macy totally came up and spun Chandler and got into Sumner.
But here's
I don't think it was on purpose.
No, it wasn't.
Never say that.
No, I think it's a similar situation in terms of, trying to retain the side draft.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, it's just trying to retain the side draft and track positioning. It's just not the best move.
So,
but it's rough. It's Michigan. It's hard,
Let's continue talking about pit strategy, because what did we just see again? Landon Mills has gone down pit road for another time.
But he had repairs.
Oh, he had repairs.
What did you say? I've never seen you get 22 seconds on the line for like normal stuff. Your normal time on the pit stop is about 12 to 14 seconds, so maybe damage or a 10-second stop and hold.
Well, I don't know about that. I think Mills is just, again, overthinking it. He barely had any damage. We're about to go back to green flag racing, and Dinkel's going to lead the way again. Mills, we're going to see if he's got the moves in him once again to try and run through the field. Mills also got 4 tires on that stop. Green flag, back again, lap 52. Dinkel on the inside with Pat Harvey trying to make the momentum up on the outside. Mills up 3 positions already through corners 1 and 2.
About to gain one more.
Yeah, this is just scary. He almost got in a bunch of incidents. He did get into an incident where we least expected it, when he was already through most of the potential disasters waiting in. We're 3 wide. There's bodies hitting. Car goes through the infield. We'll save it. I think that was the 90 of John Jones. Think he's okay. He slows it down, gets onto the apron. We're still green, but he's lost a ton of time.
Yeah, but we go 3 wide again at Costa, now being the car in the middle between Mello and I think Abner.
Car goes up into the wall out of turn 2. Car's just scrambling right now in the midfield. Mills really wants to be a part of this?
Yeah, well, Mills is in the P17, so he wants it. He's just gone through badly more.
He's flying right now. Of course, those 4 fresh Goodyear tires are going to give him a bit of an advantage. He definitely doesn't need to come down more than once more in this race, but the more cautions we get, the more likely we're not going to reach 110 laps, the more likely it comes down to time. We're just short of the halfway point here in this race in terms of laps. We're also right on the cusp of being halfway through in terms of time. Another caution, and we probably eclipse that potential where we need to have a time-based race. So lots of craziness going on right now. All I know is that Trent Dinkel keeps leading these laps.
Yeah, absolutely, which is insane to talk about. His field gauge is working, and I think the engineers at Private Label Team Hype are doing that field work and maybe just keeping him fresh of the situation as he moves forward lap by lap, and also keeping Mills in touch where he is on the track, as now eBay moves up 1 spot on the inside.
Starting to calm down a tiny bit in the midfield. I mean, meaning that they're not 3 wide. Yes, they are. I lied. Sumner's on the outside of a 3 wide battle right now. Oh, gooder Mike Witt, I should say, in that 88 throwback to DW Gatorade scheme. It's a good looker as we still run single file up front. Oh, man. Who makes the moves to try and win this race? I saw Mills. I mean, listen, I don't know if this is a bit of the Mills being younger, who's on the top of the 3 wide battle right now. But Mills just making some really aggressive moves here. He's not getting through the field as quickly as he did last time, and he's got 4 fresh tires. I don't know if it's because the tires haven't baked in yet, or he's being a little bit less aggressive, or the brakes haven't come.
I think he's being less aggressive because.
Oh, the 21 almost just totally took him out heading into turn 1. You see that?
Yeah, I think the reason is why is because Pruitt, I think, wasn't fast into turn number 1 and kind of checked up from 25 into 21 into turn number 1. And that's why it was a little bit tense. Pat Harvey into the lead. Now Dinkel back into the lead.
Harvey and Dinkel fighting for the race lead. Just half a car length in between them. And look who has the run. Chris Hudson. Does he go down the inside? No, but he'll almost push 67 of Harvey into the lead. He takes it away for the time being. Dinkel's potentially going to have the run, but he got loose through the mid-corner here. And I think this is Harvey's now. Yeah, Pat Harvey is, the momentum is equal. He's got the lead. Now we see, is this Lou Christian almost getting into the 25? Ooh, yeah. That was very close.
No, like I said before, I think that was like Pruitt just being very slow into turn number 1 and checked up everybody. Nearly 3 wide out caution. Here we go.
We've got a caution. Chad Kibbe involved. Landon Mills escapes it. Lap 59. We're under yellow again. And Kibbe is still turned around. Finally gets himself straightened out. We'll have to see exactly what happened. I think at this point, it's a big ask to go 110 laps. Usually, I think it's almost like spaced out where you can get 4, maybe a max of 5 cautions in a race before you start to eclipse that time total. Kibbe here, the 42 of Acosta slides up, but nothing's wrong there. Mello, oh yeah, Kibbe just kind of came down, got a little bit loose on corner exit, tried to come back up a bit, and came across Mello, or Daniels, I forget, I couldn't quite see which red car that was. And I don't know, I'd say that was more of a kind of wrecked yourself there. But under caution, and now everyone coming down to the pits for, I think, Landon Mills stays out. Okay, so Mills has stayed out. Funny how that all works out. Mills, one of the only drivers to stay out. Grassy also staying out. This is an interesting situation right now. It is time-based. We see at the moment we might be right on that line. If we stay green the rest of the way, I still don't think anybody can make it on a tank of fuel. Okay, so we still have time to go 110 laps. We still have time to go from this moment onward 51 laps as Trent Dinkel wins the race off pit road. So if we go 51 laps, there's almost no way that these cars, these drivers can go 102 miles on a tank of fuel. I mean, they're in a little bit better shape than Landon Mills, too.
Everybody's due a splash and go at the end. Right,
so,
literally everybody. Literally.
I mean, and the funny thing is, if there's one caution, especially if there are 2, they're fine. If there's 2 cautions, not only is it going to be definitely a time-based race, but the laps are shortened. You don't, and you run with those some laps with limited fuel usage. So I wonder if we can go one more caution, because I'm hearing that we have a little bit more time than we thought.
Each caution is roughly about 6 minutes, 6 minutes and a half.
Okay. If it's
because you're doing about 1 minute and 25 to 1 minute and 30. Whenever you're catching up is about 1 minute and 30. And if you're doing a pit stop, it's about 1 minute and 40, 1 minute and 45-ish. So but if you're under the safety car before you go into the pit lane, it's about 1 minute and 25. So it's right around 1 minute and 6 minutes and a half.
What I've been seeing is closer to 5 minutes, because there's at least 1 fewer laps under yellow. We're only doing 3 full pace laps under yellow at Michigan, which is awesome.
Okay. That's great.
2 laps that are around 1:40 each, and then 1 lap that's 1:20, and then the bookending laps are just the time they go green, which they're back to racing, and the lap that they go under yellow, which they're speeding around anyway to get back to the line and catch up with the pace car. So I'd say each caution period is around 5 minutes and 3 to 4 laps. Yeah, and considering that a lap itself is 40 seconds, if we're talking about 3 laps being at the slowest speed possible, you're losing around 3 minutes. You're adding 3 minutes or so on to that timer. This is quick math. This is quick math. How much time do we got here? We're probably at the 50 minute 40 second mark here. 54:20 is where we are exactly. We're about to go back to green flag racing. Landon Mills, the leader. Trent Dinkle right in behind. Grassy just laying back. We're back to racing. Mills takes the green. We're on lap 62.
And Grassy not the best start in the back.
Yeah, Grassy definitely slow on this start. Hudson in behind him. And cutting right in front of Grassy is Maverick Davis, who also has been up front all day. There's so many different drivers that could win this race. He, of course, is one of them. Mills will continue leading. I mean, yes, tire wear is not the name of the game at Michigan, and there's barely enough laps to say that the advantage for Dinkle and the rest of the field is even present. Because Mills, of course, he left older tires. I don't think it matters that much. Not at all, especially with how draft heavy and dirty aero dependent this track is. This is a straight dogfight with Mills not able to go as far as the rest of the field by around 5 or so laps at most. Maverick Davis getting pushed by Chris Hudson into corner 3. Hudson's just pushing everybody into each corner, trying to see how far he can do it without them wrecking, and honestly, I'm digging it. I'm loving to see him eat a little bit.
But here's the thing, he wasn't like pushing. Last time he did that on Mills, he didn't push him. He actually kind of like snookered him into like the sinkhole, and but Mills made the move for it into turn number 1 and 2. So in this instance, now it's all about how mild he's going on that bump draft on everybody that is on the outside lane. Now, since the first car ahead of him right now is still Maverick Davis, but things can change since Grassy now has the opportunity to merge into the outside lane.
Top 4 are single file, but Grassy's going to try and get a run on Davis, who cuts him off. Hudson's just in front of Jose Acosta. Lap 65 of 110. We're still on the mark as Mills slides up mid-corner. Might not have the run that Dinkle has. That's absolutely correct. But Dinkle, who closes in, does not close in quick enough and tries to just send it down to the inside. Mills cuts him off. Mills is just a thorn in a lot of drivers' sides in this race. He wants to win. You respect that.
No, you respect that even if you ruffle a few feathers here and there. What's the matter if you get the win? You know, I think well, Dylan, you know best. You live in America. I don't live in North America. You work for NASCAR teams. I don't work for NASCAR teams. You see tempers get heated on NASCAR. I don't.
Oh,
but, yeah. You know what if someone can be on the track as Grassy falls into P5 for P6 as a cost.
Look at Davis. Davis took that line that Landon Mills made work for him earlier in this race, and because Mills is giving Davis the toe to say, hey, Trent, I want you to finish as far behind me as possible, I'm not going to give you the toe. Trent sends it in deep into the corner. Grassy catches right back up to Davis and Dinkle going side by side, and there's contact between Davis and Dinkle. They're fine. They hit each other square. Right side of Davis, left side of Dinkle. Hudson pushes the 15. The 7 is the 15. What a save! All involved.
What a save, and we're still under green. Somehow, someway, Maverick Davis still trying to go on the outside.
And Davis is going to go down the inside of Dinkle. We're back to status quo from a lap before.
hold up. Let me just check my heart rate real quick.
Okay,
here.
but before you do that, Davis sends it. Just sends it. I mean, down the inside of Landon Mills. It takes the position. Mills gives Davis a push, a shove all the way down the backstretch, and then Dinkle gets it to the back of Mills.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you, Dylan. I can smell disaster coming from a mile away. I can smell disaster coming from California.
And I don't think, Mills just goes up to block Dinkle. Dinkle gives him the how do you do and slides down underneath in the inside. He's going to try and slide underneath Davis, who I feel like almost looks like he's overcooking the corner just a tad. Davis is going to have to slow up on corner exit. Look at that brash move. Mills will give Dinkle a shove. Acosta underneath. It was less than a shove. It was more of a punch. And Dinkle almost gets into an incident. He pushes the 15 on corner entry. The 42 almost got into the back of the 9. I mean, there are so many foot in your mouth, heart in your mouth moments throughout the majority of this race. Wayne Grassy gets sent farther back than he'd like to. Mills on the outside of pretty much the second row of high-speed pace laps. Dinkle is clear. Back into the lead. Mills is in fourth.
Question for how long, because you can see Acosta nearly made contact with Davis on the quarter panel, and he's still going racing now. One other guy that we haven't talked much, Grassy dropping back. Who's coming back up is Harvey
Accordion effect.
as he moves to the inside.
Accordion effect right there. One car slowed up in front just a tad. Mills slowed up. Hudson slowed up. Harvey, everyone slowed up. And where did Waldo Walden come from? He's been hanging out in the higher side of the top 10 for most of this race. Walden, who started in fourth, I mean, he's now entering the conversation here in the top 5. It's nice to see. We are now single file with the top 4. I just don't think we're going to be that way in 3 seconds time as we're heading into turn 3. 39 and a half laps to go. A move by Maverick Davis, who just loves licking the stamp and sending it as far as you can possibly go in the Irish Hills. Slides up, hesitated. Acosta did not let him get completely clear, and Mills has a huge run. He's going to give Davis a shove, a push. It's a little bit nerve-wracking, I'm sure, for all involved. Dinkle just hanging around in the lead. Davis, I mean, we saw Mills do this all the time earlier in the race, just setting it really far down into the corner, and yet it didn't seem like the tire wear rate was that high. Mills will, instead of going up high with Davis, goes down low, and Hudson's going to potentially look at a lane lower than Maverick Davis. Mills, more like the Maverick himself right now, who goes into P3. Oh, Maverick Davis up into the wall.
Yeah, a little bit into the wall, but Hudson's going to try to take advantage of that into the run on the inside.
67 has a run.
Yep, he does.
He's going to push the 43 deeper into the corner than he'd like to. He needs to get it slowed down, because if it goes up a little bit, Davis's left rear quarter panel was there. Top 3 are single file, and they'll remain that way down the back stretch, but Hudson and Maverick Davis side by side entering corner number 3. About to be on lap 74. These drivers are racing like the rain's coming right now and the race would be official. Hey, newsflash, we don't even have rain in iRacing yet, much less on an oval, much less in this league.
Thank God, at least we're not going to get a weather like rain and delays until Monday.
Look at that. Look at that, Lorenzo. Mills goes on the high side. He's going to try and use the momentum here. Hudson goes underneath. Almost feels like a defensive move right here. Look at Harvey making a big move down Maverick Davis. Look at Mills just cutting off Chris Hudson. That was a block and a half. I feel like there's going to be a lot of hurt feelings after this race, if not hurt race cars by the time this race ends. Big run from Chris Hudson on corner exit. Oh, Landon Mills is going to be hung out to dry. All the drivers in the top 6 went down to the bottom line on the inside line, except for Mills. Davis came back up for corner entry. Harvey loose on the inside of Mills. Davis comes down, almost gets taken out by pretty much his own accord. Walden was there. Davis just didn't care.
Yeah, and you can even see Acosta now wanting to give draft to to Mills on the backstretch, and you can even see like Mills doesn't have many friends right now on this race. Moving forward now, Mello moving up one spot as he's on the inside of Davis. Davis dropping back like a rock moving forward.
Maverick Davis has some help now on the outside, but you're getting into that hornet's nest of drivers right there that you don't really want to be a part of. He and Waldo Walden are practically touching. I mean, any lower, any higher as Davis got loose on the exit, and they were both wrecking. And, I mean, I think Waldo Walden's trying to side draft him a little closely, saying, I don't like how close you're running down on me. What have I done to you? Mike Witt from 29th to 9th in this race. Chris Hudson, of course, from 12th to now P3. You want to get a little bit dicey? I'm going to throw some dice to you. Cars that are very much at least 18 laps down. A car that's 1 lap down, Chad Kizzy and Jose Medina. They are in the sights. Look at that. Oh, goodness. Harvey was loose. Hudson goes down the inside. He's going to go past Jose Acosta and slide up, not completely taking away his lane. Dinkle is inching. I mean, he's got a 3.5 second lead as we're 3 wide out of 4. This is the biggest lead that we've seen any one driver have in this race.
Yeah, but we might even see that get bigger because we're getting some traffic. 3 wide into 1. 4 wide into 1.
Kibby did a really good job of staying as far out of the way as possible. And look who else is doing the same thing. Great job right there from Jose Medina in the 24 car to get way down to the bottom and slow it down to the point where he can get to the apron and let everybody fight their way. I think everybody's tempers are already pretty high, and if a lap car got involved in any of these battles in a meaningful way.
Oh, Costa. Great run.
This is wild, Lorenzo. Look at this. 3 wide on screen.
3 wide, and I think even Acosta might actually get the early advantage because the draftman not so far, my friend, as now Daniel's going to have the retaining the lead a little bit, but then he has also Daniels on that outside. Daniels and Maverick Davis going together, nearly making contact, but other than that, really good racing so far, and I think there's a car in the back that got loose, and that might have been Pruitt getting loose out on the back street.
Oh, Luke Christian not happy. I think he got turned. We got a yellow. Yellow has come out. Christian turned into the wall. Remember we were saying Jeff Chandler got turned a little bit earlier?
Oh, is this a payback?
Chandler just came up and turned the 21. We'll see it in the replay. Yeah, 21. 21 totally held his line. Let's see what happened between Chandler and Christian. I feel like we're going to see the overall part of it, not the minute details, but I mean, Christian does nothing. It involves another driver. Is that Kitty?
Looks like, yeah.
He was just hanging around, minding his own business, and gets involved in a wreck. Already 2 laps down, which also actually disqualifies him from getting the lucky dog.
Yep.
So that's frustrating. That is really frustrating.
One thing we know, Dylan, is at this point of the race, we know one thing. Pit party.
It is certainly a pit party as we speak. Everyone except... Oh. Okay, Rachel Hunt is laps down. Okay, so everybody on the lap down is, yeah, pit party.
This is Chandler's upper panel, so...
We'll see the exact replay here. Christian doesn't move his line. Yeah, that's a take it out right there. Chandler took him out. I don't think on purpose. I hope not on purpose. But Christian didn't move an inch. All right, so we're seeing what everybody does here in the pits. I think everyone's taking 4 tires, getting a nice full tank of fuel.
Roy took 2. He only took 10 seconds in.
Good point there. Richard Pruitt took 2 tires. And he'll move into, he started 30th. He's been hanging around in the back of the field. I think that was a great idea from him in the, officially the 924 machine. He's up in 7th. Why not throw your hat into the battle? We've talked about the tire wear not really being a huge deal.
Hold up. That is a great. I'm just going to tell you really quickly, Dylan, this might be the best paint of the race. For one singular reason. Yeah, let me just tell you why. Paint might sound simple. Yeah, if you a good logo here and there.
Are you talking about the 9?
Oh, the 9 too. Yeah, the 9. That 9 on the
that 9 is hidden. See that 9 right there?
There you go.
That's a great move right there. That's awesome. There is a 24 car, Jose Medina, remember, in this series.
Yep.
What was the other reason?
No, that was the main reason.
That was the main reason. Okay. Yes.
That was the main reason.
Well, he's got himself up into 6th. 6th right now. 3rd on the outside line. That could be I put that as one of the best strategy calls, if not the best strategy call of the race. And the reason being is exactly what we were saying. We haven't really seen tire wear come into play that much. He got himself fuel to make it to the end of the race. We're on lap 83. I think we are right in line with the time here. It'll be a 1:07:20. We'll have, I think, just under 23 minutes to get this race in, and we have a 3.5 potentially minute buffer. We're hearing from our admin source in our broadcast production call. Race is back to green flag action, and Trent Dinkel will lead the field. So 3.5 minute buffer means that if we have another caution,
the yellow flag is
then
over.
It's time. But right now, we're still going 110 laps as we see all these cars come ferociously. Oh, yeah, there's some contact for sure amongst everybody in the field. Dinkel, though, he's in the best spot. He's in the place you want to be right now, and that's in first. Acosta slid up just a tad. Richard Pruitt still hanging out there. I think you can say it was definitely the right move to go for 2 tires. I'm surprised Moore didn't try that move. Now Chris Hudson in second. Mills, Harvey sends it in. Has to really get on the brakes. You see that little shiver and that little shake? That's when you know you sent it in a bit too hard and you're trying to just, slow the car down just a tad, and Harvey will have Mills just cut him off again. Mills is making a lot of brash moves. If he survives at the end of this race, that will be insane. Harvey, we see him on the screen right now. He was almost taken out by Acosta, and he almost comes down on Acosta. My goodness. Pruitt.
3 wide behind.
5th, 3 wide. Mello involved. Walden as well. Oh my goodness. And Maverick Davis has re-entered. Oh, Pruitt blinks momentarily. Mike Witt with the fastest lap of the race in the 4.4 range. This is, man, you have a feeling that the catastrophe is just waiting to happen. We haven't seen it affect any of the front runners really yet.
No, I had like barbecue here. I had barbecue here in Portugal today, Dylan. I can still smell the barbecue, but I can smell also the disaster coming.
I forgot you're not in Brazil, right?
No, I'm in Portugal right now, man.
Huh. Living?
No, I'm in Porto right now. I'm farther to the north.
All right, we love to hear that 3 wide going on in the back. Mello, we have his on-board shot on the outside here. He's trying to take away 6th place from Jose Acosta, who slides up in his lane. Mello is just going to stay there for now. Everyone moves down to the bottom. It's like a snake. I know you love the Indy 500. I think it's the best race in the world. And we always see these drivers snaking down the front stretch, snaking down the back stretch. We're seeing a bit of that here at Michigan.
Yeah, absolutely. We love to see that. You know, a little bit more dangerous than what the Indy 500 kind of like provides to you. Yeah, absolutely. But that's what you want to see. You want to see some good old racing, some rubbing in there. They're still close. You're still looking to mellow. Just on a personal note, I just want to bring in. I've been watching Bruno evolution over the past few years in Brazil. His evolution as a NASCAR driver and a sim racer, not just on oval and road, has been quite stellar. He's becoming like a dual style driver, so it's good to see that, as he's probably going to make that move stick on Pruitt. But Pruitt, as on the outside line, he has that draft to work with. Don't know if he's going to be able to have that one stick as he blinks it a little bit due to connection issues.
Of course, NASCAR itself has gotten involved in the Brazilian racing scene, and now it's the NASCAR Sprint Series.
Pruitt. Yeah.
What happened with Pruitt?
No, Pruitt dinked the wall, I think, on the outside of Ford, lost some momentum.
Yeah, he's definitely fallen back a little bit. What we haven't said is first and second, not only in the race, but in the championship. And Mills has a run on the outside of Trent Dinkel. Mills back to the lead. Will he clear? I think Hudson's going to give Dinkel a shove and give him some help, sending him diving, just barreling down in the corner number 3. We're coming to lap 90, coming to 21 to go here at Michigan. Mills blinks a bit. We still have 42 miles left in the Irish Hills. Dinkel says over the radio, hey, Landon, that was a big blink right there, just so you know. I don't think that's going to change how Mills is racing at all, but it might change how everyone races around him. Mills tries to go the outside. Dinkel cuts him off. He had space. It was his right. But now Dinkel has to deal with Mills going way down the inside. Mills will just swing it back down, back up to just send it, and has to get off the throttle, apply some brakes, because Dinkel was still right there. Trent actually went up a lane higher. Hudson goes underneath. Acosta, he's not going to help Landon Mills. Why would he? They've been fighting all race. They're 3 wide for second. Harvey gives Hudson a shove. Mills in the middle of traffic. Oh, goodness me, they're all fine for now, but Hudson slides up into Acosta. No contact, they're all good. 2 by 2 by 2 by 2, high-speed pace lap. We're wrecking in the back. Beasol Jr., Wayne Grassy involved. Everyone, take a chill pill. This race is now going to time. Which, in my opinion, only sends the aggression levels higher.
Yeah. Dylan, have you went to consult your heart doctor lately?
I have not consulted with my heart doctor lately. I should.
I should as well. I haven't done my checkup. I need to do my checkup. This is about to get nerve-wracking, to put it mildly.
About to? This entire race has been one of the best races I think I've seen on the platform ever. It's been awesome.
It's kind of like it's been the equivalent of, I'm trying to find of Crawford and arrow spins, but it's not. It's just they're trying to throw it down. They're throwing it down every single round, even though on Crawford versus Spence, I'm going into boxing. People just get on with it. Crawford gave him Spence a teaching of boxing. This is different. All right, if we can bring more of a parallel line, maybe Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, the second bout. I think when the Fury went to the mat on the 12th round. This is looking like it.
No.
Mills.
What?
No way. What?
Landon Mills has to go down pit road. He just threw it away. Remember we were talking about him overthinking? Landon Mills, Matthew Campbell, Wayne, and other cars involved in the previous incident have gone down pit road. Mills... Richard Pruitt was did not lose time except when
pretty
he hit the wall. Mills, I don't think, realizes it's going to be a timed race.
I think he knows. The question is he going?
He got 4 tires.
He got for no. He's going full attack.
Yeah, but how much time do you really have to go full attack? I mean, another caution, 2 cautions, and that's race over. 1 caution, and you don't have enough time to get back involved.
You come into P18. The worst position is going to be P18. He can get quickly through Vsov, Gamble, Moore, and McDonald.
Yeah, but you give yourself way more risk. We get a replay of the incident that brought out the caution. This is on board with Lee Grassi. And you see, he comes up against the wall. Oh, he got hit from behind by Sumner, I think. On exit.
Yeah.
I think Grassi just kind of slowed it down on corner exit, and Sumner wasn't expecting it, or maybe Sumner even got hit.
Yeah, I think he expected Vsov to come into the outside, so kind of by surprise a little bit over there.
Here's another view of what happened. Sumner. Yeah.
I can tell you one thing though, Dylan. That was not Tropicana juicy from Sumner right there.
No, it was not. I think I couldn't quite see if Grassi checked up at all, but Sumner definitely got into the back then, and there she goes.
Yeah, I want to see more. That looked like more Costco, but even I heard like Costco juices are decent.
Never tried it. By the way, we're gonna restart here with a round.
Are you still? What was the name of the store? Back in Philly.
I don't know.
She used to go quite a lot.
There was a fresh grocer.
Oh, I'll remember. Oh, trust me. I'm gonna look it up on Google Maps.
Lorenzo and I have been friends for many years, and we even got to hang out in Philadelphia a few years ago. That was a wonderful day.
This guy shows up with the Manchester City shirt, which is appalling to me.
And I still will. You want me to do it again?
Oh, yeah.
Community Shield. Whatever. I'll cry with the trophies clogging up my ears and a third one.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going back to Green Flag Racing with around 12 minutes exactly left in this one, which gives us enough time for, I believe, 18 laps at most. So we might be still on the cusp of being able to go the rest of the way, like by 30 seconds. We'll have to see. It's right there. It's right there. Green flag is back out. Dinkel will take it. Landon Mills restarts in 18th, and he is boxed in on the outside. This is just intense racing as they barrel down into 1 and 2 to get back up to speed. We'll see who blinks first. Does Dinkel have anything less than first in him? Chris Hudson, I don't think he's led a lap all race, but he's in second, and he's right on the back. He's right at the back of the 9 machine of Dinkel.
You can even see Acosta trying to come in as well. Harvey disputing that inside lane with Acosta, but so far they're going to keep it too aggressive. Now Hudson's going to do his best to try to get a run in on Dinkel, and I think they're probably going to race with more desperation as they go lap 95 out of 100, but we have about 11 minutes left to go.
Still side-by-side racing from third on back. Pat Harvey in the 67. We look to a little bit farther back, and Landon Mills is not making up any ground. I mean, Mills, he's in 17th, man. What did he do? What was the decision-making if he thought he couldn't make it? I guess that's one. But keep going and hope that there's some sort of a caution. Oh, he almost was the reason for the caution there as he cuts off Esau Jr. and moves himself back into 16th. He's gained 2 spots in 2 laps here. Tires are probably up to temp for everybody, especially for Mills, who goes in the middle 3 wide and just goes up and hits the 35. I mean, Mills hits McDonald. I'm not sure exactly if the outside run is 35 and McDonald came down, but again, now Mills is 3 wide again on the outside, cuts it to 2 wide, but even if he gets 5, he's got a lot of length, a lot of track in between this group and the rest up ahead. Dinkel's still the leader. This is catastrophic for Landon Mills with 10 minutes exactly to go.
Yeah, which is insane to think about. We're on lap 97, so I got over here 8 minutes and 23 laps, so we have about 1 minute lap in terms of session. So if we still stay under green, it's going to be really interesting as it's going to be that way, as now Mills behind Matthew Campbell once again, but everything's brewing at the front.
Everything is certainly brewing up at the front. The top 13 separated by just over 1 second. 1.26 at 1.317 seconds as we cross the line to be exact. The top 4 are just the top 5. Everyone is under a blanket right now. Dinkel's the only driver in this field that has seemed comfortably leading the race. He's seen that as his one function, his one thing in life that he must do, and that is tonight just stay in first, because he's very rarely raced in any other position at all here, even with Mills fighting, even with Hudson, Pat Harvey, Jose Acosta at times. Trent Dinkel has been the lone constant up in front. You lead the most laps, you get more for your championship battle.
Oh, Daniel's thrown to the outside, 3 wide into 2.
Landon Mills moves into 14. Oh, what happened there? Was that Acosta?
Yeah, it was Acosta.
Acosta came up, or Walden came down. Regardless, they met. And Acosta almost completely lost it. Landon Mills has cleared the rest of the back group, and he's trying to close down that 1.2 second gap. He closed it down by a 10th the last lap, but he's got 10 laps to go to potentially move up 13 positions to where he was just running. I don't get it. I really don't get it.
I don't get it. Unless we get a yellow flag. That's the only explanation.
But if we get a yellow flag, that's even worse for him.
I know. No, I'm just saying that he might be betting on a yellow flag to get a really good restart, but even then it doesn't make a difference.
So I think for right now, we can safely say that if we stay green the rest of the race, we get to 110 laps. Here's the replay of Acosta and Walden. Walden kind of cradling that seam, and he kind of came up, 84, and then the 84 kind of came back down on him. So just good hard rating. Look at this front fight at the front. Look at this fight at the front. Hudson will get a push from Harvey. Dinkel still leads, but Chris Hudson right in behind, and Acosta's, he's right behind Davis. Anyone can win here. It's just that Trent Dinkel is masterful in clean air.
Yeah, but the problem is, is you're Hudson. You're kind of controlling this back behind you of sorts. If I'm me, I don't leave it up to chance of the yellow flag or something like that. I go on the offensive immediately, or try to go on the offensive immediately. Find the opening, go for it. Just try to commit to something. I might lose a spot here and there. Yeah, absolutely. But you're still within the contention. You really don't want to leave up these chances with like 7 laps to go, 6 laps to go as they go next time by.
Oh man, Landon Mills is catching up, but does he have enough time to do so?
No,
we're coming to 7 laps to go. I think we can go back to that lap counter instead of the time counter just until, if we get another caution, this might be race over.
Yeah.
Mills, because he has the toe, is the fastest from that last lap back to that 104 of 110. To give you an idea of the all-time statistics here in the PRL NASCAR Cup Series Sunday action, Dinkel is 1 win away from tying Abner Acosta for 3rd all-time in Sunday PRL Cup Series wins. That would be with 22. Harvey has won 1 race. Hudson has won 1 race. Daniels has won 4. Davis has 0. Everyone besides Dinkel is looking to just add another win, or maybe a first win, to their count. 99 car up into the wall. Walter is into the wall, but now what do we have here? Mills is in the conversation. He's still in 14th. but he has caught up to the draft pack. He needs to keep making moves. We're coming to 5 to go here.
But Hudson is trying his best. I don't know, man. It's rough.
Here's the thing here. We're at just under 5 minutes to go and 5 laps to go. A caution ends this race. A caution ends this race with Dinkle in first and Mills fighting for 12th. He's going to go around the outside of Walter. He has a run. Look at the run in the top 10. We've got almost 3 wide battling. Dinkle up front. Look at Joshua Daniels making a move down the inside of Hudson. Oh, he slides up. No contact, but Dinkle is going to have to deal with the run in behind him. He chooses to go down with Daniels. Yeah, Acosta, Jose Acosta is in this too. He has the biggest run on the outside. He just sends it down the inside. Way too hot. He's got to get on the brakes. He does exactly that. Almost 3 wide on the exit. He slides up. He's going to lose all the time in the world. Hudson keeps on going on the outside. Acosta's lost so much time. He's in the middle, 3 wide right now.
About to lose 1 more spot. Mello, 3 wide going
Gotta
into
slow it
3.
down. 3 wide is right. Davis almost gets up and takes out Abner Acosta, who has made his way up into the top 10 out of nowhere. Landon Mills. He is +2 down the front stretch with 3 laps to go. I mean, this is desperation for Landon Mills. He needs to make his way back into the top 5 to have a championship shout. By the time we get to Watkins Glen in 2 weeks' time, he comes up into Mike Witt, who goes up into the wall. But Witt is fine for now. Mills is not making any friends from this race, I'll tell you that.
No, and look at him blocking the line out of the 924 to Pruitt and coming into 2 to go right here. Mills being fully aggressive, but so far
Mills.
crashing in the back, maybe. Yellow flag is out. No, it's still under green.
Oh, we're still wrecking big time.
Oh no.
Caution is out.
Race is over.
Race is over.
Oh boy.
We could. I'm not sure. I mean, there's no time left in this race. There's what, 2.5 minutes?
Yeah,
2.5
roughly.
minutes. Yeah.
Roughly.
So this race is over. Trent Dinkle is going to win it, and Mills is going to finish 9th. Mills threw it away. He might have thrown this championship away.
Boy, yeah. I think moving forward, you would need to win the next 2 races in this championship to think about, maybe contending down the line. And I'm just looking at the calendar really quickly into the final 2 races of the season. Indy Road Course and Watkins Glen, the 2 road races of the season. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Oh boy. Well,
Nico, I think celebrating right there.
yeah, Trent's happy. He's take a breath. Dinkle, a 4th win on the year. Not official yet, but will be in a minute and a half plus, whenever they get to the line. Goodness me. Even if they go to 1 to go here, they're just going to have a quick drag race to the line with no positions being changed to make it official. Because it's when the time runs out plus 1, I believe. Unless I'm completely having a moment. That's always a toss-up, we've heard.
Yeah.
All right, so is this the last lap? We don't know. There are 3 to go, and the lights are still on, so even if we had the time, yeah, this race is over. So, no more squabbling here. Dinkle wins it. Hudson in 2nd. Harvey in 3rd. We haven't reached the official moment yet, so yes, there is a chance for Dinkle to just blow his engine. I don't think that'll happen. If you're Landon Mills, you overthought this race to oblivion. You probably made some enemies in this race who are not going to take it easy on you if you need the help, or at least get out of my way on the road courses coming up. We go to the road courses, we go to the road courses where Dinkel is just incredible on. Goodness.
I mean, he gets the private label team hype support, and we know Abner is a master on that car. I saw that on the Xfinity back at Road America. He basically obliterated the competition, you know. And he didn't. He said he didn't even practice right there. Imagine if he puts some effort into going into the Indy road course next week. Good luck.
Well, the white flag is out. Trent Tinkle just said, "I'll take $1,000 to my Venmo or I'll take whoever wants to send me 1,000 to my Venmo, and I'll come down to pit and lose this race." It doesn't matter. Checkered flag has waved. Or they gave the white flag now.
Yeah.
The white flag was there. It said final lap. Checkered flag still out, or still in hand, not to be waved. Yes, the lights on the pace car are out, but this is the final lap. The order, while it might show up wonky, it's going to be the results.
At least look at it this way. We went over the 110 laps. We're at lap 112.
That's what happens with the green-white checkers.
So we're taking our goals and going even further. Finding new roads. We're taking the Chevrolet logo and applying that to full practice. I think the boys at the private label team having that Chevy car, they're gonna appreciate that good usage of the logo. And get points for the team back. Even though Joshua Chin might not appreciate me talking things about the private label team because normally I curse them.
This race is now saying it's a green-white checker. Some drivers are saying. We are still at single file. Charles Sumner, race control, saying to still bring the cars to the line. Green is back out. It says it's the final lap. We'll make sure that the checker's thrown
Barney
as well. People are confused. This race is technically over, but it's not. So, we believe that the results will be the ones that were taken as they crossed the line per race rules, but per the sim, we are still green flag racing. Maverick Davis. Maverick Davis said, "Yeah, I'm gonna take that. Why not try it, right? Why not try to go up in front?" What is happening? we went to the hour-and-a-half mark.
I can see Dinko pushing the car. This is silly time racing, but I appreciate that. I'm not gonna lie.
And the white flag came out twice.
Oh, I forgot about you. I told you forgot about you the story. I was actually gonna win a Michigan race. I actually got as soon as I crossed the finish line, I got a yellow flag, and I lost my race when I got into the restart.
All right, Ryan Blaney in Texas. So Dinko crosses the line, and now the checker. There we go. Now the checker flag will fly. That was the weirdest finish. Now I'm not the biggest advocate for a timed race finishing like that, but hey, we think we got it right. Trent Dinkel will win it, while teammates Chris Hudson and Pat Harvey round out the podium in a Ford and a Toyota. Waldo Walden and Joshua Daniels rounds out the top five. Jose Acosta, Abner Acosta, who really rebounded nicely from the majority of his race not being his best. Bruno Mello will be 8th. Landon Mills, we'll talk about him post-race, finishes 9th. Richard Pruitt made the best call of the race and finished in the top 10 after starting in last Colton Easterday, Mike Witt, John Jones, Charles Sumner rebounded well. Jay McDonald, Bradley Moore, Maverick Davis. What an unfortunate end to his race, if that's exactly how it's going to work out. That's not his official position, by the way. Some of these are probably going to be changed. Robert Gamble as well, and missed a few right there. But we go to 21st, Tom Macy, Eric Papinel, Chad Kibbe are the cars that finished still in the lead lap. Matthew Campbell, Walter, Hunt, Medina, Christian Chandler, Dixon. The rest of the field, Gandy never turned a lap. So, what a weird ending to a great race. A little bit disappointed with how it ended, but that's kind of how it goes. And Trent Dinkle is currently making his way into victory lane on the Michigan front stretch, which is in a uniquely positioned spot. And let's see if we can... No one's ready for an interview yet.
They're all too shy. They're still frowning what's happening after the race, I think. I want to believe that. I want to believe in this world.
Well, usually we've got everybody in the interview room, but we've got nobody in the interview room right now. I'm going to await further instruction, but for now, we're just going to chill for a few more seconds here. Trent Dinkle has finished in the top 5 every single race. He's actually met the checkered flag with, and goodness me, he's unbelievable. Well, we got Chris Hudson, who's in the interview room. Let's start our conversation with the man who finished in second. Lorenzo, I'm gonna give you with Chris. All right?
Well, you're gonna give me Chris. Okay, so Chris, congratulations at P2. You know, bringing some good points for the Pioneer team. Man, walk us through this race, because I think we've seen everything. I think literally everything in this race.
Yeah, there was it was a pretty exciting one. First of all, I just wanted to apologize to Jose Acosta. I think we got into a 4-wide situation there early. I was just trying to hold my line through there, and just I think I caught his right rear, and it was pretty intense. But it was. I mean, we felt good. Pat and I. We had good setups. Waldo was in there. Rob, Lou. I mean, we were all kind of making our way up there, and I think at the end we felt like we had good long run pace, but there was a lot of battling going on. People kind of diving in and just kind of taking away momentum and stuff like that. But man, what a blast! It was a fun race.
No, absolutely, and you get to see that. I know it wasn't intentional. We were seeing from our view over here, but it's all power racing. But I really want to bring into the championship. You had another solid result. The only bad round you had it was at Chicago. Now, Prince, and that ties in with my next question. We are now into the final 2 races of the season. They're both road races, and of course they're not Chicago. But how do you feel approaching first Indy Road and then the Watkins Glen Cup layout?
Yeah, I feel pretty comfortable on road courses. I usually have a semi-decent results there. I think Indy feels like more of a real hardcore road course. I think Watkins Glen is a little bit more flowing, a little bit more open, and I tend to like that one a little bit better. But it's I think for the road courses, I got to put some laps in. It's just these cars are so hard to drive around road courses, so it's just it's all about getting the laps in and making sure you're comfortable and trying to be there at the end.
And now, what's the goal? And before we let you go, what is the goal moving forward with these last 2 races? Try to get solid results, try to beat your teammate in Pat Harvey, or still stay in the top 5 for you guys trying to, we want to beat Abner Acosta, even though he's a beast on road courses.
He certainly is. Yeah. Oh man, there's so many good road course racers in this league. It's gonna be tough. But no, I mean, for me, I think this season has been good. I feel like I've done pretty well. I want to continue. If I can get like top 5 in those 2 races, I will be just thrilled. So that's kind of my goal. And then I've got kind of the year-long championship in mind as well. Kind of going into the playoffs. I want to make the playoffs and see what we can do from there. So I'm looking forward to it. It should be fun.
That should be fun. And well, Chris, with that being said, I'll thank you for your time, and go ahead and enjoy the rest of your night with your teammates at SG Esports. And again, congratulations on top 3.
Sounds good. Thanks, man.
Dylan.
Hello. Lorenzo, let's bring in the winner. We'll go from second to first and get with Trent Dinkle right now. Trent, that was a race that had one constant, and that one constant was you in first. Masterful job. What were your feelings when you just could not get away from any of the pack in behind, like all race?
I mean, yeah, I was. I knew that I probably would never get away. I think maybe if we would have had a pit stop, it would have changed, but I don't even think that really would have changed anything. I think it was more, I just was trying to keep the people that looked fast in dirty air, and I think it worked. Landon was able to do some crazy things on the bottom, but also, like, if he was taking my line away in 3 and 4, I really wasn't giving him an inch, which hopefully he doesn't think was dirty. I don't really think it was. And with me on the outside of him going through 3 and 4, that he would get so tight he couldn't do anything. And then, I mean, really, other than when basically the entirety of SGE pushed Pat in front of me, I really didn't have too much struggles. I mean, it seemed like Maverick and Landon were working really well together for whatever reason, I don't know. But then, like, if I was battling Landon, all the SG guys were trying to help me get around. So, I mean, it was good. I don't quite know why Landon pitted at the end. He probably would have been just fine where he was. I don't know if he got damaged or something, but yeah, that was a good race. There was a lot of, like, oh my god, is this race over yet? Because, I mean, I was trying to hold off Chris, Pat. I mean, Josh Daniels at one point was, like, right on my bumper in 3 and 4. Then Jose was up there, and that was a different kind of fun. It wasn't like super fun, but it was fun.
That was actually, we were absolutely mind-boggled to see Landon go into the pits. He finishes 9th. I mean, that is huge for your championship aspirations here. You got Indy next week. And then I know you're still unsure of the situation with Watkins Glen, but a race like this and a result where Landon finishes 9th and you finishing, obviously, you're winning the race, that's got to be encouraging.
Yeah, no, that's good. I mean, the other positive, obviously, I like Landon. He hasn't really done me dirty or anything, but, I mean, if he gets stuck with that caution point from lap 49 when he hit Matthew Campbell, I mean, that's going to be almost a 25-point race for me. And he's going to have to start in the back at Indy, which, I mean, I know that it seemed like Maverick was pretty quick, and I don't know what the hell Abner Ever's going to do at a road course. But, if he has to start in the back at Indy, and, that's going to take him a long time to possibly even get up to me, if he ever does, then you got to be really careful, because if you make another mistake, then, you can't qualify again at Watkins Glen. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm still planning on taking my stuff so I can do the 2 laps and then park it and at least get some participation points. I'm crossing my fingers that not a lot of people are going to show up for Watkins Glen, because then that'd just be more points. But, I mean, I'm not really still thinking I'm going to win the championship, but I sure am still going to try my butt off to, win these races. And, yeah, this was just a crazy race. And then when we loaded in, the track temp was like 20 degrees cooler than I had seen all week, and I was like, this is going to be a nightmare because everybody's going to be able to go so fast. But I mean, to be honest, this race was a lot cleaner and everybody was racing pretty good up at the front. I mean, I know there was a couple accidents from like 4 wide shenanigans, but yeah, I mean, it was a good race.
Lorenzo, you got a question for our winner right here?
Yeah, I do. Well, Trent, you've been dominant in Chicago, and of course, we're going to the last 2 road races of the season. So, well, what is the trick? Going from more of a not a permanent track, now going to 2 permanent tracks in the into the Indy course in Watkins Glen. What is the trick of trying to keep up with the car that is going to behave totally different from a street course to from a road course? And also, how hard is it to get away with the curse of the pit stops inside the private label Team Hype company?
I mean, honestly, I still can't really decide like what clicked for me in the next gen to where I found this speed on the road courses. I mean, honestly, I'll still chalk it up to just trying to be Abner, but I mean, Chicagoland was more of an outlier than anything because it felt like the car was literally flying through the air 90% of the lap, so it was just trying to not kill it at any point. But I mean, India is definitely another beast because the track's so flat. But I also know I already did some laps yesterday and today, and I mean, EPI always puts out good stuff, and you know, it gels well with me. And then yeah, the pit stops, I'm definitely gonna have to practice because the Indy pit road's weird because you come in off of the hairpin, but then when you come out of pit road, the cone to end the pit speed is way deep compared to like where the end of the wall is, so your mind's just like ready to take off when you know, get past that wall. And then obviously you have to stay super tight to that corner or else you'll just fly out onto the track because yeah, the pit stops bit me pretty bad when we were at Daytona earlier this year. I like had, I don't know, I had to been like an inch of the car over the line too far and it gave me the drive through. So, you know, I mean, if Landon's in the back, I mean, I fully expect him to be up, you know, second place, not too far into the race, but as long as I have a good gap, then I'm not stressing. I can just drive, and you know, I feel like when you're not stressed, you're just putting in good laps, and then those good laps turn into super fast laps.
Yeah, that's a good point. Go back to you, Dylan.
All right, Trent, I do like your usage of the Chicagoland track instead of the Chicago street course, you said.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah, that, you know, that place, that place that we don't use.
I was thinking of the cooler place.
hey, I've never been there in person. I was at the Chicago street course, and that was actually a really awesome event. But hey, we've been talking to you for too much. We've already shown your car way too much in the podcast this season.
You're good.
Congrats on the win, Trent, and looking forward to what you do in the last race and potentially the last race.
Yeah, we'll see. It'll be exciting to see what happens.
All right, moving Trent out of there, and it's time to bring in our third place finisher, Pat Harvey. So I'm going to give Pat to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's bring up Pat. Pat, first and foremost, congratulations on that race. Man, some moves here and there, some blockings here and there, but it's all part of our racing. What'd you think about that, and how was P3 like, given the circumstances?
Yeah, first of all, did Trent tell you his whole life story? I gotta go to bed. It's past my bedtime.
What time is it for you?
No,
10,
it's 9:20.
Oh, come on.
No. If he had said like it's 3:27 a.m. like you're here in Portugal, then it probably was.
Oh, okay. I'll take that back. It was fun. It was a fun race. I didn't know what to expect. I don't know. It was kind of like almost Daytona-ish, where it's just you're just drafting, and so everyone's blocking and throwing it in there. But I think if it would have went green, I feel like me and Chris, the SGE guys, I feel like we had good long run pace there. Like at the end of that first round, I feel like we were faster than the leaders. So. You know, a couple things go different, and I think we had winning speed. But third place is great. I'm happy with that.
No, fair point, man. And sorry, Dylan. I was just replying to something on my phone. But you guys been so well with the team SG Pioneer, and you guys been trying to battle so far the private label Team Hype. But you know, quite a big gap, but you're still trying to keep it very honest. What is the key? Try to steal as many points from them, or even pass them in the team standings in these last two races of the season.
I hate to give him a big head, but we got to beat Trent. Somehow we got to beat Trent. I think we're getting closer, but he's just quick. So we'll figure it out. We're getting there. But just, you know, being consistent and finding a way around Trent we'll be all right. We'll figure it out.
Figure it out. If you have to think, last question, which of the two tracks you think you got him figure it out, you know?
Of the two, what's the last one? It's a road course.
Is Watkins Glen. It's both a road course. Indy Road and Watkins Glen.
Well, I think my best bet is if a lap car takes him out on accident. So whichever one, maybe Indy Road course is a little tighter. So we'll say there. Maybe there.
Right on. Some confidence. Well, we'll see what happens in the next weeks coming. But thank you so much for talking with us, Pat, and enjoy your bedtime.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
All right. Well, that is it for the podium finishers, and Trent Dinkle, of course, gets the win there. I'd say I'm surprised. It wasn't a dominant performance in terms of race shaped out, but if you look purely at the stats, it's going to look dominant, and I think that's truly because in the small amount of potential that any one driver could separate themselves from the rest of the field, Dinkle took every single advantage and did everything right and did not put a single wrong move down all race long. And there's a reason.
I agree.
Yeah, there's a reason that there's a solid chance that he's going to be champion at the end of the year. Just Landon still has a shot. It's just that 9th place is going to absolutely kill him as we head into Indianapolis Motor Speedway on the road course. Same time, just a different date on the same day. Next Sunday, August 13th at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's when we go live on RaceSpotTV. And then, of course, after that is the finale, August 20th. Will be at Watkins Glen. So 2 road courses to end the year on. No cautions, which also means we're not going to have to worry about the time playing a factor. That caution to end this race, believe it or not, was the last caution we'll have all season. All right, so with that being said, Lorenzo, I appreciate you stepping in for Terry, who was having a little bit more work than he expected from some of his weekend short track late model racing broadcast world. But it was a pleasure to be joined alongside you, my friend. And of course, we've got Nick Hunter, and of course, we can't forget about our best production guy, Mike. Mike is doing a great job for us in behind the scenes. But from us 4, I'd like to wish you all a pleasant good evening and good night and good racing.